Sunday, April the 21st, 8:46. We've got 4 models out here we're going to look at. You know, I watched this gentleman's video earlier this morning. You know, he's come up with a percentage. Like 40% difference between the worst and the best detector. Alright, I get all that. But that 40% really don't mean jack. That percentage would mean more depending on what detector model's been in there and the skill level of the user. But some of these more modern detectors, you need less skill, in my opinion. Number one, the machine has to make a signal on the target. Everybody ought to understand, gets that, right? See, first you have to have an audible to stop you. And then, depending on what happens after that, you still may pass on the target. Okay? And we've seen how metal detectors have evolved. You know, if you take 3 skilled users and they go into a half-acre plot of land and stay for 2 days with DS2s and Manticores, and they're skilled users, digging every non-ferrous target out of there for 3 days. And then you take 3 skilled users with F75s and AT Pros and they go in there. What's liable to happen? Wonder. I think Sharpshooter knows the answer. So yeah, a sight that's not been detected ever, you have a good chance of finding some stuff with a lesser performing detector. A lot of the sites you go into, you may not know what's been in there and the skill level of the user. It's a mystery to you. It is for the sharpshooter in some sites. Okay. So you know, you're in the don't know category sometimes when you go into a site and you're hoping, everybody's hoping. And I'm sure there's been people been in sites with the detectors and they can tell, uh-oh, somebody's been in here. You might even be able to judge that with a Manticore or a DS2. How is that? Because the targets you find, you can tell if you're a skilled user that they're all challenged. There's no 5 and 6 and 7 inch targets out in the open you're finding much. I've done that. Okay. Now, you've seen how detectors have evolved. Okay, now remember, I've got this DS1 over here with this little bitty coil. And we got a 9 inch on this DS2. We're going to look at the mono program. And we're going to look at a frequency at around 14 to 15 kilohertz. So that's where a lot of your detectors, you know, were running, you know, single frequency. You know, the general purpose, you know, sort of the best of both worlds to use a single frequency detector. So you see that. That could be in the wild. Now this gentleman makes comments, you know, about sync rate. No, there ain't no coins that deep in the United States. Okay, I'll even take that. I'll bite on that. But that could be 3 or 4, 2 inches deep. Been laying in the ground for 75 years in a site you're in. So you waltz into a site with an F75, an AT Pro, a Micro Racer. Some of those machines, like I said, it run between 13 and 15 kilohertz. Okay, what might you see on that? Even the old E-Track will turn it on first. Now this is a 2008 or 9 release. I've got the, see that quick match down there? 33, fast recovery on. You hear that? Not a whole lot on that. It's not jumping out at you, is it? Now that's 33. There's 32. Alright, now I'm going to hit the quick match button and take it off. That's 28, and down in the far right hand corner, which is how a lot of people use this machine. Okay? So you can see that could be laying in a site still somewhere where somebody has used an E-track. Alright? Manticore. All-terrain low conductors. So we're getting a signal, and we're also getting trace down there. See that? I come over here. See that trace? And I'm going to 45 degree it. So I'm getting something on that, okay? And I'm getting some visual there, and I'm even getting some ID. All right, we're going to turn this one off. Now remember, that's a big call, 11 inch. Deus 2, 9 inch call. We may look at it just in a default program. Actually, I'll go to sensitive FT. Now here's silencer 1 on this. I'm getting positive ID on that. You see that? So I'm getting signal. Okay. And I'm getting some positive ID. So again, I'm getting not only signal, but I'm getting some ID that might lure a person to dig that. Okay? Now, let's go here to mono program right fast. There's 14.7 kilohertz. Speed 2.5. And I'll even let the silencer down to 0. It's cold out here this morning, boys. You hear that? Okay, so now we're getting signal there. But look at the meter. Iron range. Now that's a silencer of 0. If we change it back to default of 2, we don't get anything. But the ID we get on that is not gonna, you know, odds are it wouldn't necessarily lure us like that Manticore did. Okay? Now, the Deus 1. We'll look at 14 kilohertz with this HF elliptical call. I'm going to turn the audio response up on it because this speaker's sort of weak on this thing. Alright, so there's 14 kilohertz. So you hear that, but notice the ID. A 0102. Over here I'm getting a 6. And this is a small call. Okay, again, you would not be lured as much with this machine in 14 kilohertz with that coil, or the mono on the Deus 2, or the E-track. Both of those machines in multi-frequency, one wearing a 9 and one wearing 11. Now I could put an 11 inch coil on that Deus 2 and get some similar performance. You understand? That's part of the equation with this multi-frequency. Minelab's done some good videos talking about this for you people out there getting into metal detecting. And I'm not telling you to go buy jack shit. You can be in a one-coil operation with a multi-frequency detector. See, with single frequency, there were some situations where you could maybe improve your odds by going to a smaller coil. Well, you had to buy that thing. Okay? And that still didn't get you all the way there where you would be with one of these multi-frequencies with a small coil. So that could still be laying in a sight. See what I'm saying? Using these machines that are supposedly, you know, well, some of them are 40% worse or whatever than the best out there. But see, the problem is we don't know how many of those situations or similar exist, do we? We don't know. What we do know, though, if skilled users using single frequency detectors have been in a site and they've been digging just the non-ferrous range given targets, those are probably still left in there. Now, they've been pushing the envelope, you know, and that's what people were doing with single frequency detectors. You had people pushing the envelope. They were suspicious of maybe a target on that JS1 reading 6. Okay? And they were successful in their dig. The only problem is, though, every time you got a 6 in the meter, that didn't mean it was a non-ferrous target down there. No machine is 100%, you know, they're all gonna lie to you. Question is, though, the multi-frequency probably has a lesser chance of lying to you, and yet lets you get targets out of situations you can't get out with single frequency. Okay? That's a simple little scenario there. That's not overly complicated. That's a nickel. You see it there. So yeah, you get better operations on a one coil bigger setup. So you've got your depth and some of your ability to get stuff like that. Get on top of it. Recognize it. Be suspect and dig it. That's going to conclude the video. I hope everybody has a nice day.